All right, so talking real quick about being active versus passive in different stretch modalities and how that changes our focal point or kind of emphasizes or de-emphasizes different tissues or different structures. So for this, we use the rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch as the example. This is one I go to all the time, use quite often, and it's just a really easy one to explain this difference of what we're getting when we're active during our stretch versus when we're passive. So we take a quick look here at the passive setup, and you notice I've got the band back here as opposed to a fixed structure. But if I'm in this rear foot elevated hip flexor position and I just passively let my back leg kind of hang out here, I can do some different things to get an attention point at one side or another. But broadly speaking, being passive in this stretch is going to work mostly the fascial structures. It's going to work more so the connective tissues, and for all intents and purposes, we're going to be limited by the fascial tissues in this stretch. If I then go into an active back leg where I drive my foot down and then continue the stretch, I'm still hitting, for the most part, that same group or that same area, but now because I have an active muscular contraction, this is going to become more musculotendinous in nature, because I have the lengthening that's being produced from the stretch, but then also the muscular contraction creates an additional lengthening of the tendon. So for all intents and purposes, this is one where we can kind of go back and forth. We can program this as a particular way one week and then a different way the next week. If we're somebody who has a clear identifiable deficit, then obviously we would just ride with that variation that is needed. But again, for most cases, this is one where I would say to kind of play with it and do both variations over time.